1, 2, is this on?
A wrestler's gimmick will often take inspiration from different aspects of pop culture and society, or they might borrow from already existing personas in wrestling. We'll be covering a mix of both for this video, as we list 15 WWE gimmicks that were copied. Razor Ramon took a lot from the characters Manny Rivera and Tony Montana in Scarface. This is especially evident in the bad guy's initial vignettes. Vince McMahon had not seen the movies, so was impressed with Razor's suggestions that were taken straight from the film.
So say good night to the bad guy.
Everybody say hello to the bad guy.
Say hello to my little friend.
Say hello to Razor Ramon.
I buried those cockroaches.
Saying I'm some kind of a filthy, stinking cockroach.
Through with you now. Get out of here. Don't make me get nasty. I'd probably scar her heart for life.
Carlito's vignettes from 2004 were almost a straight copy of Ramon's, all the way down to the spitting, which would become a key part of Carlito's act after he debuted, where he then separated his character from Razor.
And I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Like this monkey. I make his dream come true, man.
Hey! Cool it, man. Can't you see Carlitos on the phone?
Whenever a tag team was either branded or appeared as the new version of an old team, it basically meant they were going to be awful and destined to fail. Examples include the New Rockers, who replaced Shawn Michaels with Al Snow, and were predominantly used as enhancement talents.
Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty. This is the kind of wrestling the fans today love.
Shawn Michaels is on his way back to the locker room.
The Rockers want to be known as the new and improved Rockers. Of course, Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy. Absolutely phenomenal. And here come Marty Jannetty and Leif Cassidy.
The new Midnight Express weren't much better, pitting Bob Holly and Bart Gunn together, and with Jim Cornette managing them just like the original team.
Bombastic Bob, Bodacious Bart, the new Midnight Express. JR, isn't it fun for you to say those words again? Double teamed by the Midnight Express.
The new Blackjacks consisted of Bradshaw and Barry Windham, who adopted the same gimmick as his father, Blackjack Mulligan, as part of the team.
Blackjack Mulligan.
Fact is, boys, we're walking out of this match the winners. But one of you Canadian idiots get hit with a lariat, you ain't walking out at all.
Come get yourself, cause the Blackjacks, ha-ha, right again.
You also had the New Brood, where Gangrel traded Edge and Christian for the Hardy Boys. This pairing wasn't too bad, but obviously didn't compare to the original Brood.
Gangrel, Edge, and Christian, the mysterious Brood, the new Brood. And after being managed and led to the tag titles by Michael Hayes,
They're a tremendous trio. Gangrel in the middle, Edge on his right, Christian on his left.
you know that's got to be one of the coolest entrances in the entire WWF.
What a reaction for the trio known as the Brood. One of the most exciting trios in the World Wrestling Federation today. Huge underdogs right now. These guys are down 2-0.
Our next examples were also taken from a film and helped influence two separate characters. We're talking about Robert De Niro's role from Cape Fear, where he played the villain Max Cady. The WWF's Waylon Mercy shared a similar appearance and leaned on the calm southern gentleman exterior. The inner violent psychopathic side of the character was never really fleshed out though, as Mercy's run was quite short.
But you know something, I enjoy worms, but I don't enjoy worms crawling on me. What we need to do is follow the rules. You know what I mean?
Mercy's face. Waylon Mercy applying a sleeper hold on Jeff Hardy. Look at his eyes.
Bray Wyatt took some things from both Waylon and Cady, such as the look and speaking style.
With her fried chicken and potato salads and some hot dogs.
My own daughter, she don't even know me. After I went inside, her mama told her I was dead.
And God like me, you know, I'm as large as him, he is as small as I.
Behold, the new face of fear.
Another famous film that spawned a wrestling character was The Pirates of the Caribbean, as Johnny Depp's portrayal of Jack Sparrow was reimagined on WWE TV in the form of Paul Burchill. The gimmick initially took off, receiving universal praise from fans. However, some of the pirate aspects were later toned down until Burchill was taken off TV entirely a few months later. This was due to an injury and because Disney were unhappy with how much Paul resembled Sparrow.
Bottoms up.
Hello. They're gonna think you're a joke. It's not a bomb, is it? It's not a bloody bomb, is it? What? Bloody hell, fire! Bloody hell, Lord! You're bloody mad!
Regal's really enjoying it. She's cracking up laughing. What the hell? My!
It's funny, isn't it?
One character that faced less pushback from movie studios, despite being based off a film character, was Sting. After being pitched the idea by Scott Hall, Sting was modeled off Brandon Lee's Eric Draven character from The Crow.
That's Sting! That is Sting occupying... Where is he anyway? Way high up above the fence.
And his charisma was so huge, he didn't need to say anything. He could say more with a look than people could say in a 10-minute interview.
At first, I think they just thought of it as like free publicity till they got a new film up. But then he started making figures and, t-shirts, and so that was when they stepped in and said, you're gonna have to change that. So I guess he changed the makeup.
Sting later borrowed from another popular character, this time in TNA. Joker Sting was born a few years after the release of The Dark Knight, starring Heath Ledger as the Joker.
I don't want to kill you. You complete me.
I know. Sting, you've stepped over the line now. You've taken it too far. Everybody thinks you're snapped.
There's something that's exhilarating about being insane.
Remember the Hitchcock movie, The Birds? Yeah, they just tick.
In his early career, Sting teamed with the Ultimate Warrior to form the Blade Runners, who were a rip-off of the Road Warriors.
So they were Rock and Sting, the Blade Runners. They were going to be our new, younger Road Warriors.
Speaking of the Road Warriors, some fans consider Demolition to be a rip-off of Hawk and Animal.
All we've got to do is reach up and wring our neck and bring home the gold belts.
But nowhere near as much as the Powers of Pain, who were a much more blatant copy of the Road Warriors.
Two more referees come in, but they're not going to be able to stop him either. Oh, no. And the Hawk flies to the air.
Meanwhile, Hawk and Animal took inspiration from Mad Max 2, which was where they got their Road Warriors name and look from. During the height of the Antifa riots in 2020, WWE were in a ratings and creative slump. So in a response to Antifa, the company debuted a masked, hooded vigilante faction that wreaked havoc on Raw and SmackDown. The stable was called Retribution.
You might want to leave. You might want to go home. Go on.
The Saurian group were met with much negative criticism. This led to them being made exclusive to Raw after backlash from Fox, who aired SmackDown, as revealed by one of Retribution's members, Mace, in interviews with Denise Salcedo and Wrestling News Co.
I think they were trying to do an Antifa thing. I think that was the idea. But at the same time, this is it's a very big company. There's not really much room for controversy anymore. So at some point they were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't, but we already did this big angle and we need to kind of finish it in some capacity.
When Fox, because it was on SmackDown, found out that there was an Antifa angle, they said, hey, stop.
Retribution became more and more stripped back to the point of finally being taken off television in 2021 after months of doing next to nothing. Let's take a break from the list now to highlight some light-hearted parody gimmicks, such as Gilbert, Stone Cold Shark Boy,
and that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
Out there ready to whip somebody's ass, and that's a fishing line, cause Shark Boy said so.
Black Machismo Jay Lethal,
All that has happened here on Saturday night's main event, the Mega Powers, the Madness.
Curtis Axel and Damian Sandow as the Mega Powers,
The Mega Powers handshake.
Damien Mizdow as the Miz's stunt double,
Does that mean he's from outer space?
No.
Akeem the African Dream as opposed to Dusty Rhodes the American Dream,
What do you think Akeem is going to attempt to do to the Hulkster? There is no telling.
You know why? Cause it's the first time, baby. Listen to me now. It's been done with soul.
You can bank on it, brother. Money talks. Boss man walks.
The Blue World Order.
And what are they gonna do?
Yeah. Oh, please, no coming. I can't believe it.
WCW's version of the Ultimate Warrior, the Renegade.
He's running! You know, I think that's a mistake. He should be conserving his strength right here. Renegade! Ball there. Better not stand in his way.
Finally, the hilariously bad Fake Diesel and Fake Razor Ramon.
And Diesel.
Now the WWF knows how it feels to be embarrassed. Jackknife.
Monday Night Raw!
Óyame, chico. Big Daddy Cool is doing all right, chico.
Our next examples are pretty much parody gimmicks as well. However, they're so bad they deserve their own section for ridicule. In a bid to try and make WCW like WWF, Vince Russo put numerous characters on television that were clones of wrestlers in the Federation, such as Ed Ferreira's horrific Oklahoma character that made fun of the legendary Jim Ross.
Barbecue sauce in his hand. This cage match against Furio.
Yeah, I think
Then there was the likes of Asia, a bad clone of China.
Right in the man department.
Or Buzzkill, aka Brad Armstrong, the real life brother of the person he was ripping off, the Road Dogg.
You didn't know? Well, better cool somebody!
Guys that do that type of job for a living.
Are you feeling low?
Aren't exactly brain surgeons.
Buzzkill get you high!
Also, the tag team Chronic seemed like a weed version of the APA.
We'll write you a check.
A check?
Okay, if that check bounces, so do you.
You show up tonight, cash in hand, we'll take care of business.
Wow, my babe.
The artist, formerly known as Prince Laukia, also appeared on screen during Russo's time in WCW. Laukia already had the Prince moniker. Unfortunately for Laukia, he had nowhere near enough charisma to pull it off.
Psychosis meets psycho sexy. I'm gonna make you my next hit.
It was his valet Paisley, better known as Charmel, that stole any scene they were in together.
Fans in Sacramento love Paisley. They love Prince. Every time she crawls toward us, Tony.
The Velveteen Dream in NXT was also a Prince-inspired persona, but unlike Laukia's shoddy knockoff, the Dream made the character his own by going all in on the gimmick and allowing his personality to shine through.
The only experience worth the spotlight here in NXT is the Velveteen Dream.
Following in the footsteps of gorgeous George, Adrian Street, adorable Adrian Adonis Goldust.
After months of vignettes where he was hyped up as a monster heel, Brodus Clay returned to WWE in 2012 as a dancing babyface nicknamed the Funkasaurus and flanked by the Funkadactyls. Comparisons were drawn to Flash Funk and his Funkettes, although Brodus had far less skills as a dancer.
Yes, indeed. Flash Funk in the pocket.
My bad. What is he doing? My bad.
Meanwhile, Clay's theme music was ripped off from Ernest the Cat Miller, a fellow dancing wrestler who used the same song during his run with WWE a decade prior.
We gonna call our mamas!
Somebody call my mama.
Can you get down like that?
No.
If you grab your yam bag hard enough, you can scream like that.
The Nature Boy Buddy Rogers would prove to be one of the most emulated pro wrestlers. The obvious comparison is the Nature Boy Ric Flair, the arrogant heel showman that talked the talk, walked the walk, dressed to the nines, and used the figure 4 leg lock as a finishing hold.
Got him coming off. He had Buddy going, but wait a minute, there's that thing you gotta look for, the figure 4 grapevine. Now watch him, Billy.
Skill and technique between the ropes have made him a master of his craft.
Buddy Rogers.
A bleached blonde guy with a fancy jacket strutting around and telling people he's the greatest?
Vincent Kennedy McMahon was said to be influenced by Buddy too. McMahon's famous billionaire power walk was also inspired by Rogers' strut.
His walk that only he can walk.
is a signature of Mr. McMahon.
He somehow walks like he's got a broomstick up his ass.
Gorgeous George was another classic legend who was way ahead of his time, and someone that influenced many, including the two Nature Boys we just mentioned. However, the most famous star that was inspired by George wasn't actually a wrestler. Boxing icon Muhammad Ali took directly from the way Gorgeous George bigged himself up and talked trash.
Outstanding beauticians and hairdressers in Hollywood, California. Shut up, you peasants.
He was talking about, I am the prettiest wrestler. I am great. Look at my beautiful blonde hair. And I said, this is a good idea. Right away I started talking. I am the greatest.
Who's the greatest? Yeah! Who's the prettiest? Yeah!
Gorgeous George and Buddy Rogers had a pioneering impact on the business, paving the way for those who came after them. Despite quickly becoming a highlight of WWE programming after returning in 2022, LA Knight was not without his doubters, most of whom cited his similarities to The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. This was the most prominent during Knight's initial ascent in 2023.
Making his way to the ring from Hagersville, Maryland.
And now Austin is stomping that mud hole. It's Simon Dean. He cannot take a second to breathe against the champion Roman Reigns. Knight caught it. BFT. The people's elbow. They're winning. The Rock looking for the people's elbow. Oh no! He got it.
My normal just speech pattern every day when I'm talking to you is probably somehow derived from them. Whether that's purposeful or not, it's definitely not. So it's just the fact that I sat there and watched every single episode of Monday Night Raw. I had all the little VHS cassette tapes. You wanna say that I'm the Kobe to their Jordan? I'll take it.
I want Stone Cold Steve Austin to open up a can of whoop ass on that sumbitch right there. Give me a hell yeah!
Everybody's saying L.A. Knight.
You are a gym bro with a spray tan and a catchphrase pretending to be The Rock.
There are literally millions of Rock's fans. Tell them whose game this is. Yeah.
And what? Cosplay a redneck version of my cousin?
Take that little mannequin head, turn that sumbitch sideways, and stick it straight up your candy ass. It's a map. If you follow this, you'll find the exact directions of where you can stick each and every one of those bottles of Prime. Yeah!
You're just an Attitude Era fanboy playing cosplay in my ring.
All right. Yeah. You don't breathe? You got no pulse. You're not alive. LA Knights everywhere, huh? You can call me the megastar.
Knight continued to impress in the years following his debut on SmackDown. This allowed him to shake off many of his detractors, breaking away from The Rock and Stone Cold comparisons as Knight becomes an established star in WWE. The legendary Hall of Famer superstar Billy Graham influenced many wrestlers such as Jesse the Body Ventura.
There are fans back in there telling me superstar Jesse Ventura is ripping you off.
We all know that there have been countless number of guys that have tried to follow the lead, so to speak, of superstar Billy Graham.
Hulk Hogan, however, completely modeled his career after Graham, taking many of Superstar's mannerisms and adopting a similar look.
He took my look.
The ear cuff, you started.
The ear cuff, yeah.
Ripping the brothers.
Yeah.
Graham was ahead of his time, something the Hulkster took advantage of. Using the things Billy did in the 70s allowed Hulk to become a megastar in the 80s.
Billy Graham was the main reason I got in this business. I said, man, I want to be just like him.
Molded my whole career around Dusty Rhodes because he was my guy, and superstar Billy Graham. I stole a little bit from each of them.
You wish on your best day your body looked half as good as that. Hulk Hogan reveling in his victory here.
Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our similar video of 10 of the most insane gimmicks in WWE history. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.